Addendum. Squirrel hunting. So, anyways, as I was saying, could have stuck them fuckers up, and they would have been end on end and still been 6 feet under. And, that was because that was the way you treated my grandmama. You was just, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, Nadine Price. I will do as you ask, ma'am, right fucking now. It was not, oh, sure, Grandma, I'll do it in a minute. You did not say that shit. If you said, I'll do it in a minute, she'd be like, would that be a 60-second minute or a minute and 30-second minute? I just want to know so I know how much time I got. And then she'd walk out back, and she cut herself a switch, and she make sure that thing had as many thorns on that motherfucker as she possibly could find. And then she would come back inside, and she'd tell you, put your hands on the table. And she'd look at you just the way I'm looking at you now, and she would tell you, put your hands on that table. Now, don't you sass me nothing. Put your hands on that table. And my grandmama would pick that switch up, and she would embed those fucking thorns in your hands until you could not stop screaming, even though she was not whipping your hands. And then she'd say, now go clean up. And make sure you use the vinegar. And that was my grandmama. That woman would have made Arlie Ermy go, oh, Jesus, woman. Be like a wet dream in a sock. No, I'm not trying to speak ill of the dead here. I'm trying to point out to you that Gunny himself would have looked at her like, wow. I found me an angel. Because my grandmama had the demeanor of a Marine. My granddaddy, back when he was alive, he had the demeanor of a sailor. He was a sailor. He was a sailor. But my grandmama, she acted a Marine. Even though she couldn't have been a Marine in her day. That was illegal. Boy, don't you tell her that, though. She'd have had your ass up one side and down the other. Because I tell you what, there are few things in this world that are as terrifying as a Price woman with a small whippy branch in her hand. You think it's not terrifying until you've seen a Price woman with it. Then it's downright scary. That woman make me have nightmares, I swear. But yeah, she would cut her switch, and she'd come back inside and whip your hands till they were bloody. Because she did not put up with that. You did not sass my grandma. You did not talk back to her. It was not a yes, ma'am, in a couple of minutes, or yes, ma'am, I'm getting there. No, it's yes, ma'am. Yes, grandma. As you are walking away. So, I dug that Corvette a hole. I buried it underneath that chokecherry bush. Couldn't have been more than 1.5 feet down in the dirt, really, in all honesty. I was a kid. I was a little 8-year-old freaking scrawny, gangly thing. My fucking arms couldn't have been bigger around my pointer finger. When they say that my nickname is Bean, that's what my sisters call me, is Beanie. It's because I used to be as thin as a beanpole and literally was measured by how many widths of a thumb I was wide. I was what some people would call emaciated as a child, but it was all because of chemical, it was chemical induction. It was all done by chemicals. It was nothing to do with my physiology. My physiology is that I'm skinny, yes. But when you put a skinny person on methamphetamines, methylphenidate, which is Ritalin. It's just methamphetamines with a fancy name attached to it. When you put a kid who's skinny like that on Ritalin, that's what happens. It does not matter how much you feed that kid. It doesn't matter how well you feed that kid. It doesn't matter what kind of protein shakes you chug. You're going to be measuring their waist by width of a thumb. How many thumbs wide are you? Well, let's see here. That's how they used to measure my waist. Well, let's see here. Are you still 6 inches wide, or have you grown an inch? A 9-year-old. Waist this big around. Go ahead and tell me how that is fucking healthy. Go ahead and tell me how that is doctorally approved. Anywho, so we get all the squirrels in for squirrel stew, and my grandmama's sitting there and she's telling everybody the story of the messenger bird. It's an old Native American tale. It's known by a lot of different Native American backgrounds. You know, the Hopi have a legend of their own that actually, and it does hail to the tale of the rainbow bird, but it has more to it, and I don't know the whole Hopi story. I don't know the whole Hopi story. I know the Anasazi story of the rainbird. I know the Sorokea story of the rainbow bird, the messenger bird, which was the corvid, the raven or the crow. It was okay, and then the Algonquin or the crow story of the crow. All right, I mean like Crow, Blackfoot, that sort of tribal area, Black Hills. Okay. Crow, story of the crow. Goes kind of like this. So, and this is the one that she told, by the way, was the crow story. I'm not sure about if there's very much difference between the crow and the Sarakayan story. The Sarakayan story, it's more of the crow flew too close to the sun, and so he was burned. Because Brother Sun decided one day to put up a contest between Brother Eagle and Brother Rainbow. Was what we called him back in the day. Was Brother Rainbow rather than Brother Crow. Brother Rainbow, the messenger of the gods, flew out every day spreading the good news of the sky people and of the Sarkhan and of Blue Steel and of all the good things that came from ancient Sarkhan. And he would fly along the plains and he would fly amongst the hills. And everywhere he went, everyone would remark, "Rainbird, rainbow bird, your feathers are so pretty. So pretty. Might I have one?" And always the rainbow bird would say, "Nay, you cannot have a one, for they are my feathers, and they were given to me by the gods." So the crow became so vain that one day Brother Sun said, "Brother Rainbow Bird, fly up to me. I wish to look at thee more closely." And Brother Rainbow Bird flew, and he flew, and he flew, and he flew harder and harder and harder still, till the air got thin and painful to breathe. But still he flew hard, and then he got so close to the sun that his beautiful feathers turned black from the soot from his burning plumage, and he fell out of the sky and back to earth. Never again to have such bright, pretty feathers. But every now and then, as if some sort of a cruel trick of the gods, a little bit of light will play across his feathers just so he can see what his vanity lost. The tale of the rainbow bird is the tale of woe to vanity. And it's one that I wish that kids were taught nowadays, because it's a Cherokee and Algonquin and even Lakota story. And it goes as far south as the Anasazi. It goes as far north as the Utipi and the Ipipique and the First Nations and I think even the Inuit. I actually practice a little bit of a story about the rainbow bird, but I think it's more having to do with the fish eagle and the porpoise, as the porpoise was always their messenger. Anyways, so she gets done telling her story about the old rainbow bird, and then she says, so if any of y'all have any doubts in your minds whether or not that story's a true one, I'll go dig me up a crow right now, and I'll pick off one of his feathers just so you can see. He's mocking you. Yeah, see, and she turned around to me when she said that. She turned around to me and went, he's mocking you. And I went, thank you, Grandma. I feel loads better now. I killed one of the messengers of the great ones. I feel fucking awesome. Here I am, a 9-year-old kid. I don't know any better at the time. I don't think, oh, well, they're just pestilent birds, you know. I don't think that anymore because my grandma's telling me a story, so it fucking goddamn well is really true. It is true. I cannot freaking deny it. No, 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 no. My grandma is telling me a true story. She wasn't telling a true story. It's just a story. It's a legend. Okay? It's a legend of where vanity can take you. It's like Icarus with the wax wings. It's the same story. It's just a different version. And it goes about the rainbow bird. It's a Native American story, and there's a lot of Native Americans that actually know that story. I've had a hand in myself telling that story quite a few times. There's also, you know, the story about the Thunderbird and the Rainbird, but we won't get into that one right now. Anyways, I've been chatting a lot and just chunnering on and 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 on. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump off here and I'm going to let y'all think about all that for a little while and understand a little bit more about me, about who I am. I'm not this evil motherfucker y'all think I am. I'm an actually good dude. I grew up just like everybody else out in the sticks in the woods. I mean, really, I did. I mean, I grew up, my dad had a fucking gun collection that was so goddamn big it would have scared Reagan. I had my uncle, my dad's cousin really, Uncle Russell, he had an armory that scared my dad. um, I mean, little old rinky-dink me with a couple of pellet guns, you know, and a fucking pea shooter 22 long rifle. I mean, dude, if I ever have to fucking stand up against a tyrannical government, by God in heaven, guide my bullet. Because I ain't gonna last very long. I ain't got superior firepower. I got enough precision to last a decade. But I don't have a lot of firepower. And I understand that. And I hope that the state understands that, because this is what y'all have relegated me to. This is your forcefulness. I attempted to do things of the legal manner. I tried to do things the right way. I tried to do things according to the law. In the state of California, anybody who is under the age of 18 will never be able to purchase a firearm. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. No matter how old you get it out of your minds. It's over. We lost. You'll never be able to purchase a firearm. If you're over the age of 21 and it just so happens that, you know, you've served, or you were in the service or something, or you're a previous gun owner, or, you know, you have a clean, a fucking spotless record, or you are law enforcement, a lawyer, or a criminal arbitrator. Not a judge, because they ain't been a freaking justice of the peace for fucking 60 years. But yeah, you will never have a gun. Get used to it. It is what it is. And if you think I'm a lion, go buy one. Go use that purchase power you've got. You just turned 21? All right, great. Go purchase a gun. Go ahead. Let's see how long that shit lasts before you say, wait, 14-day waiting period, a 10% fee in order to just take the background check. And if I fail that background check by some fluke of the machine, I lose all of that money outright. I'm not going to go try and buy a gun. And this is the eventual design of the United States politicians and the left and the right and all of it. This is the left-right paradigm. This is their final evinced design. And if you think I'm lying, I'll tell you what, ask yourself, if the right wing was really anti-non-gunner, if they were really pro-2A, 100% pro-2A, would the FIFSA armistice of 68, armistice of 89, the universal background checks across the state of California and other states that wish to take it on, Baker 5150, would any of those have passed at all if the right-wing politician was really 100% 2A? If the left-wing politician wasn't after your guns, why would they be proposing universal background checks, no felons with firearms, no assault weapons? But it's okay if you have yourself a rocket launcher in your backyard. And we're all right with you having a gun just so long as you're a left-winger. Y'all make me need to pee. I mean, dead serious. I mean, I've been sitting here for a long ass time doing this video, and I also got the video prior to this, so y'all understand. But I'm just saying, if you go to this length, that you are stupid enough to believe that either the right wing or the left wing of politics are at all interested in allowing you to keep your Second Amendment right, I only got one question. Where'd you get your preschool diploma? A Cracker Jack box? And I ask a preschool diploma because I know you didn't make it through kindergarten. It's just not possible. Not with that level of stupidity. Y'all have a good day. I mean, I gotta walk away from this. Y'all are giving me a crick in my neck.